Every day, something new. What if I told you that while children and teachers were being killed by a mass shooter and the Uvalde cops were twiddling their thumbs because they were scared and are cowards, there was actually one cop who was trying to get in and save his wife and children. He was trying to do the right thing. What happened to that cop? Well, we know now they took his gun away and they escorted him off of the property. His wife died. Let's put up her picture, okay? Shocking testimony from the Texas DPS Director on Tuesday has revealed even more insight into the abject failure of response in the Uvalde shooting that occurred on May 24th, okay? I don't want you to forget what happened here. That is a school teacher. The Texas Department of Public Safety Director, Colonel Stephen McCraw revealed that the husband of slain elementary teacher Eva Mireles tried to save her. The husband tried to save her, but was barred by the police. By the police. Ruben Ruiz is a police officer for the school district and was on the scene after the gunman entered the school and opened fire. He's there. McCraw said the wife called the officer and told him, the officer is her husband, told him, and I quote, that she had been shot and was dying. And what happened to him is he tried to move forward into the hallway, McCraw said. He was detained. They arrested him. They detained the police. The police detained him, took his gun, disarmed him, and escorted him off of the scene. Do you understand how insane this is? Children and teachers are being killed at that same time. There's a cop who says, well, damn it, I'm going in. No. Now all of these other cops, they proceed to basically arrest the cop, take his gun, and escort him. I'm sure they probably did more than just escort him off the property, okay? I'm sure there was some physical dynamic happening there. So this is what they did. You have someone who's actually willing to try and save the life of his wife and perhaps other children. And the police stop him. At what point are the police involved going to, I don't know, lose their badge, lose their job? When are we going to disarm them? When are we going to get the footage of what happened in the hallway of that school? When are we going to see accountability when they're dead children and police officers who were negligent? Here's what McCraw said. Now I want to remind you, I'm no Steve McCraw fan. This guy's a hardcore conservative, hardcore Republican, but damn it, he got it right on this one. Here's what he said.
However, we do know this. There's compelling evidence that the law enforcement response to the attack at Robb Elementary was an abject failure and antithetical to everything we've learned over the last 2 decades since the Columbine massacre. 3 minutes after the subject entered the West Building, there was a sufficient number of armed officers wearing body armor to isolate, distract, and neutralize the subject. The only thing stopping a hallway of dedicated officers from entering room 111 and 112 was the on-scene commander, who decided to place the lives of officers before the lives of children. The officers had weapons, the children had none. The officers had body armor, the children had none. The officers had training, the subject had none. 1 hour, 14 minutes and 8 seconds. That's how long the children waited and the teachers waited in rooms 111 to be rescued. And while they waited, the on-scene commander waited for a radio and rifles. Then he waited for shields. Then he waited for SWAT. Lastly, he waited for a key that was never needed.
Just a few days ago, we reported on that key. Literally, the door was unlocked. They said they could not get into the door because it was locked. They were waiting on the key. The door did not need a key. I don't buy the story. I don't buy that story from the police. I don't think they wanted to go on that door. When have you known the police to wait on a damn key to get inside of a door? Now, if there was an unarmed black man on the other side of the door, you think they would have waited on the key? Not according to the reporting we've done. I think they were cowards, scared. I don't think they wanted to go inside of that door. And I think that was the story they were gonna come up with if they were caught. They've been caught. Now the story is, we had to wait on the key, boss. Well, guess what? Another part of the story. They actually had a device that could open locked doors that they never used. You still think they were waiting on the key, waiting on backup, waiting on armor? They had it all. They had it all. They did nothing. When are they going to be held accountable? When are we going to have a press conference and someone says, we're gonna make an example out of these cops. This will never happen again. Here are the cops' names. When is that going to happen? Jackson, thoughts here.
So, bottom line is this is one of the most shameful and embarrassing responses by law enforcement that any of us have ever witnessed in modern times. And the reality is that it will only encourage more acts of violence if people see that police respond this horribly to it. And this man was stopped from taking action as if a better plan of action was in motion. But every single week we see that the revelations of what the police officers did on the scene, it just gets worse and worse. There was no better plan of action in motion. And as you pointed out, these men didn't do anything about it, and the commander didn't do anything about it because they didn't want to. It likely took more force and more restraint and more effort to get this man out of the building than it would have to go in and take out this untrained kid with all of the equipment that they had. So all of them should be fired and all of them should be made an example out of, because it's not only important for law enforcement, but as I pointed out, this will encourage more acts of violence.
Yeah, there you go. Well said.